Hey Dreamers, this is Jackto Plays, and today we are having another video, update 11. I was not sure if I was going to record this video, to be honest. As I said, maybe the update 10 will be the final one, or like not the final one, but at least like with new placements, new assets and stuff like that. So in this new update, in this update 11, I did do a few fine-tuning, so but I kind of want to show what I did with the fine-tuning as well. I'm not sure if it's for if it's interesting for a lot of people, but it is very how can I say that, very like important to fine-tune stuff, because it will make everything like immerse all together in the environment, right? So I've been doing that a lot. So instead of like building everything else, because like the whole world is basically done, but I had to fine-tune still here and there with lightning, with other assets placement, and some other fine-tuning. So what you can expect in this video, a little bit of fine-tuning stuff. I will show a little bit of like different tuning here and there, upgrading of assets. Most assets happened inside the building, like inside the bar, but also a little bit of like outside the bar as well, that I really want to quickly over on the update for that one. So yeah, that's for the intro. Let's straight into it. Before I'm actually going to start, I want to say again, at the moment of recording, it's super hot inside my house, so I have like a ventilation like blowing on my face. So if you hear a little bit of like wind sound when I'm speaking, that's because of that thing. It's the microphone doesn't always everything pick up, because like I have a windscreen, but it can still a little bit of like picking up when I'm talking. So a little bit of this disclaimer there. All right, so that was that's for the intro. Let's start with the video. So basically, what I've been done before I'm actually going to the bar. As you can see, we still are around 30 FPS, so super happy about that. So what I did is I extended the walk feet where like you can explore. Like I will be adding an exploration feature in the final version. So in the before we couldn't get further than this part, and I thought it was maybe a little bit silly. So I made like a little fence. And now we can actually go on the grass as well, a little bit exploring, a little bit deeper in the fields until we're hitting the fence, of course, and then we cannot go there. So yeah, so the fence has been building all around this place. So you have a little bit more freedom to walk around him, but not too much, because like if I do too much, as I said in the previous videos, they're going to see a little bit that like things are not really placed as accordingly. So yeah, so I have to like, yeah, draw the line at somewhere. Also here, this will be a invisible wall, just so that like you cannot go further than this tree here. So the tree is like blocking the pathway. I know this part doesn't make any sense, that you can go further. I know I cannot really find a good solution for this. It is what it is. So yeah, it is what it is. And also you cannot go here. I'm maybe going to resize this boulder, this rock. It looks really ugly, because like I pushed it up so much that the quality is almost like none. So I'm just going to make them small a little bit, and a little bit more, that you're seeing a little bit more detail again. So that will be yeah, more fine-tuning there. I like it's funny, because like I do these videos and then I suddenly see something else happening. This is why it's so important to always play test your own creations. Like if you're still creating something in Dreams, or if you're like doing other programs, or like other design programs, or making games in other programs, or in Dreams, always play test your own creation, or let someone else doing it, but also play test yourself, because you know the best. You know that you have placed something at certain points, and like I said, like I have to like play test a few times over and over to just find a thing like, oh wait a minute, I should have fixed this. And it's very important. A lot of developers not doing that anymore. A lot of the developers don't play their own games anymore, and they just like I don't know, they hire a few play testers, but they also cannot find everything, because they are not building your game, so they don't know where maybe things can be in trouble. So to all the developers out there, please play test your own game, no matter what type of game it is or content. So and of course, like, it cannot, like, you want, of course, release, and I know this is 2023 and a lot of developers don't release games in a normal state anymore, like bad ports or with a lot of bugs, and that's because they don't play test it, and or they outsourcing the play testing. So you want to have, like, at least that the game is, like, in its best state possible. And of course, it can always be like things that are not working well, or maybe there are some things missing or bugs or stuff like that. It always happens, but you want to prevent as much as possible. So to all the developers out there, please play test your own game. Or creation, in this case. So, and actually, no, it was a little bit of like a sidetrack there. All right, so, and here I also built a fence. I'm not sure, I think I already have this fence before, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. I expanded the horizon a little bit, not the game horizon, but the horizon of this field. So I built a little bit further down the line, put some rocks in the distance, so you can so you have the feeling that the grassland is like, it's continuing in the background, and of course, like, till a certain point, because then it goes downhill again, but you're not going to see that anyway, not even if you're jumping or you have not any much of a higher ground, as you can see that it stops. So just enough that where I can build, and you're not going to see that anyways anymore. The same goes with the backdrop of these little houses in the distance, stuff like that. And speaking of those houses, I have to go in well, I can maybe show it here already. I changed the water. There was like a little water before the houses, and I wasn't really happy with it. The water was like crooked. It like physics, it was like ignoring physics, which is very silly. So what I did is I created new water, and I also made it a little bit more shiny, so like it's floating a little bit in the rain, like in the wind, so you can see that the water is like doing great this. And if you look very carefully, you can see there's like some reflection happening. How I did the reflection, very simple. I copied a few assets and then cloned it on the other side, because we don't have actual reflection in Dreams, sadly, and we will never get that anyway. So no hopes there, but well, it's a little bit of an old trick that, like, if you like look very close, you can see the houses are like in. If you have to jump for it to see that there's like a little bit of reflection there. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, that's what I mostly have done. Like, I have like created the water. It's very simple. It's just like a text gadget and some flags painted over it that like representing water reflection. So and that's all I did. So not like super special or anything like that. I know there's like tons of other ways to make very beautiful water, but I don't really need to do that, because A, it doesn't really fit in my creation, and B, it's very unnecessary, as it's just like a small part of this creation where the water is. So I don't need to, and plus I don't have the graphics thermo anymore left. Speaking about graphics thermo, at the moment of recording, I have hit 99% graphics thermo, and I will show you why. Because like I wanted to have a little bit more detail here and there still, and I have to be very careful with searching, because like I had only 3% graphics left, so I had to do my best to make it nice. All right, so before we're going still in the bar, I'm also showing something else. I also extended the backdrop, like the back view that already showed in the last video, but it's a little bit more extended, so you can see the little bit trees in the distance. There's like a rock, not too much. I don't want to have it like too many trees in the background. I kind of want to have the feeling that this is just a wasteland that's continuing all the way to the mountains. So, but just a few trees here and there, just to make it really nice, breaking to the environment. So that's what I did. So I have like a little bit more extension to it, and the birds flying past by very peacefully. And also what I did, I have to create out of the creation. I finished the side of the building, so you can see that now the building has been finished. I do see, however, another thing that I need to fix, but I see that the bark is a little bit too high, so I have to fix that one. But that's I'm not going to record one video just for that. So I finished this. I finished the side of the house on this side as well, just on the other side. And before, you could actually see there was like spotlights shining through the windows, and like if you were jumping like this, you could see that there were like spotlights like hitting the window. That's weird, right? So that like doesn't make any sense. So what I did, and I'll show you that later, is I did a technique that I have also made a tutorial for it. It's like faking shadows. If you have never seen that before, or if you want to know how I did this, I'll explain you further on in the video. But I have a tutorial for that. So that's what I did with that part to fix that issue. And mostly everything is pretty much the same outside. There is a few other things that have been changed here and there. I will show you on this side as well. I changed some placements of the trees, but I don't think you will noticing anyway, so I'm not going to talk about it. I did, however, change this pathway a little bit. So we only first had the flowers in the front, and then a long road till nothing, till you hit the little goblin, basically. So what I did is just like, it's super minor little detail, but to give a little bit break of the bridge here, is that there's some other true plants here. So halfway the bridge, and then I thought it was a little bit more nicer if there's like a break in between them. Everything is still the same on this side, so don't really have to show anything. Still the birds are flying there. Yeah, so once the game is released, or game, I call it the game, it's not the game, but once this creation is being released, yeah, explore it yourself and maybe make screenshots if you like certain spots here and there. So yeah, I didn't really change much on this side as well, besides some fixing on the land, on the grassland itself. That's very unnoticeable, so I'm not going to talk about it either. I think we are good to go. Oh wait, before we actually going still in the sidebar, I have done something else. It's a minor little update, but when you're going down the staircase, we had the fence, right? And I found that the fence was a little bit too boring and there was like too bold. There was not much anything into it. And I kind of want to feel that like this fence has been there for a long time and it's been closed for a long time, apparently. I thought it was nice to have also like plants growing on the gateway. So and of course, as I said in the previous video, only on one side, so the other side is not really growing much. And I lit up a little bit of the stair pathway, so I can still see a little bit like what's going down there. I did that with the same technique I did inside the bar, so just like with some flex, and then pull up a little bit of like the glow, and then make it hidden, and and so like it feels like a little bit more that the lighting is a little bit more bouncing to the walls and the ground and the staircase. So that's how I did that. So yeah, so it's a little bit nice view. I may be considering to paint over this gateway. Now, like I said, I only have 1% graphics thermal left, but I'm not going to hit that. I really want to keep the 99%. I don't want to hit the 100% because like I know that will be a little bit more tricky for the PlayStation based users, including me. So 99% is the max that I want to go for. Probably going to like fine tune here and there still, that maybe hit 98, but I'm not going to reach the 100%. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, but yeah, like I kind of want to maybe still want to paint the gateway a little bit more with rust and stuff like that, because like it's one color. The person who made this, yeah, didn't paint anything, which is often the case with Dreams creations. Not always, though. There are some very cool creations that already have been painted, but it still happens. Like people think like gateway is only one color and that's done, right? But you need to have like rust, and then it's. So I'm probably going to add that later on. Not sure, not a promise. Like I said, not many room to have the graphics thermal. So that's what I changed a little bit on the gateway side bay, on the pathway downstairs. And who knows, maybe eventually someday you can open it and then you can explore the rest of the world. Who knows? I think that's pretty much it for this side. Yeah, so let's go in the bar. I did a huge, well, not a huge, but I did an update on the bar inside, a little bit more details, a little bit more changing in the lighting. So let's see. Well, I have not done anything with the UI, so the UI is still the same as the previous video. So if you open the door, and then we are inside the bar, and maybe for the people that have a very good eye can already see the difference. If you don't, I will explain it, of course. Let me first talk about the guests that are inside the bar. What I did with the guests, I tweaked them a lot. So if you're going to compare my previous video to this one, you can tell the difference. What I did is I made the armor shiny. In the original creation, it was not. It was not shining at all. And I mean, come on, this is like a knight, and he has a shiny knight armor, right? And it was not shiny, so I had to tweak every little bits and bobs here and there to make it shiny, to make his armor shiny. Also, I darkened his armor. He was very white. It could be a white knight, but but I didn't really like how he was comparing to the environment. So what I did is just like I downscaled a little bit of like the tone of like the color scheme, and then make it shiny. So I bumped up a little bit of the shininess, not too much, never 100%. Never do that. A little bit of like a tutorial moment here. Never do 100% on both sides, shiny or not shiny. Always find a little bit like 20% or 80% or 85 or somewhere. Never go 100%. That looks very weird if you do that. So, and the best way to learn how reflection is working is just looking at the real world and look at like how things are shining or not. So yeah, so I did that with his armor. So he fits a little bit better in his environment with his shiny armor. He is the Red Knight basically, because I also changed something else. His cloak. He had a very white cloak, and I first made it a little bit brown. And like dark brown. I was thinking of black, and I was like, nah, there's something that doesn't feel right to me. And I was like, wait a minute, red. I mean, like this whole creation has a lot of like red in return, like the banners in the background. And so I was starting like, I'm gonna make his cloak red. So and red sticks very out of like the armor that he's wearing. So I was like, yeah, red is a good contrast between white and red. So that's what I did. And now he's just like sitting there and just like enjoying his dinner with his wife, I assume. I don't know. Or maybe his girlfriend or just a friend. I don't know. Maybe just got friend zoned. Who knows? But I did the same with all the guests. So I also did the same with her. I down-tuned her colors a little bit, make it a little bit more dirtier, more gray. So she was also very bright in her color gradient, and again doesn't really fit into an environment at all. You don't want to have like a very dark inside the building, and then suddenly like the characters are popping out like crazy. So everything I could tune down the colors of the of her clothes, of her headgear and stuff like that. So I did the same with her as well, and also did for these two fellas. One passed out, and one is just like thinking of his life, or I don't know. The same thing what I said also in the other two. I changed the colors. I made it more downtoned, like not too brightful, not too colorful. Because like colors in the medieval, even though it's not technically medieval times, but yeah, colors were very expensive. So yeah, you have to like very like downscale the tone. Also to make them a little bit more fit better into the environment. So I did that with these two fellas. Also with his helmets, a little bit more shiny. So they're shining now in the creation as well. So the lighting of the ceiling is really beautiful lighting, like bouncing on their helmets. So I did that with them as well. And also, let's not forget these two people. I did the same with this fella. I changed the color of this guy completely because I want to make him look more like a farmer, and he looked like a knight, and it was really weird because like he was wearing basically the same armor with this guy, so that really doesn't make any sense. These are knights, and this guy is not. So he's not a knight, so he's just a farmer. He has a farm stick, like a walking stick. So what I did was I like toned down his color scheme. I changed the color of his hat a little bit, so he's just like from the farm and just need a little bit of a drink after a hard day of work. Now we have the bartender. She has also been changed, but not too much. I only changed her hair color. I don't know if I will keep it like this. I'm still consideration to, yeah, maybe keep it like this or something else. I don't know. I changed a little bit, but she's still a devil. I changed her clothes a little bit. They were too shiny. It looks like she was like wearing latex. And I think maybe that was the intention from the creator, from the original creator of this character. But I don't want to wear her latex, so she just a little bit like toned down her outfit a little bit here and there. So that's that. And we also have like a rug. And now you understand maybe why I hit the 99, because this is one of the creations that hit the 99. There was only 1%, luckily. So again, the original rug, super brightful, super white and brightful. Didn't really like it. Well, I liked the rug, but it didn't really fit into my creation. So I changed the tone a little bit so it feels like it fits more in this creation near the fireplace, and it's basically the same tone as these banners. And so red is basically a returning color here as the color scheme. And it's like very like toned down, not too bright, just that it fits enough into the creation. I kind of wish, and this is really like my opinion, I kind of wish that I could repaint it over. Because the white lines around it, I think I have it now okay, but the white lines around it, those squares, I kind of want to make it a little bit darker. But if I paint over it, I will hit the 100% for sure. So yeah, I have to keep like this. It is what it is. But so we have a little bit of a rug. So there's like a little bit of like a different thing here. I'm not really sure if I keep the rug or not. So if you're playing the final version and the rug is gone, then it's probably because of a good reason. And I was like, I need a 1% graphics term. So it can sometimes be in the final version that you're going to play or see that things are not there anymore because maybe, yeah, I need it for something else in return. Speaking of light, not that I talked about it, but I did talk about it before. Speaking of light, I changed the lighting, as you can see, and I used my tutorial technique, fake shadowing, searched on my YouTube channel. It's called fake shadow. I think it's like how to make fake shadows. And so basically what I did is I pulled the light, the spotlight, close to the window, so it's like it's not casting the spines of these windows. And then what I did, I used the sun gadget as the reflection for like the what is like the window itself, but the brightness is from the spotlight. So the spotlights like boost the sunlight a little bit. It's on the same setting, it's on the same brightness setting, the sunlight, as in the overworld. But the reason why it looks more brighter is because like the overworld sun cannot get in this house that good, even though there's like a lot of like a brightness set on it. So that's why I'm using spotlights to just like boost a little bit more of the sunlight, so it really comes out nicely. I will show you after I'm done showing everything. For the people that want to see how I did this, I will show that in the end of the video. So if you want to stay around and want to see exactly how I did all this, I will show that in the end of the video. If you already want to skip there, I will make a chapter, of course, on YouTube, as I always do. So that's what I did. A little bit better lighting, just the same here as well on the two windows. It's not like super perfect, as you can see. There's like a little bit like weird happening stuff, but I blame Dreams, not me. And it's shadow. Like shadow is always the hardest things in creations and games in general. But I think I nailed it. I think I'm satisfied. Like that's so to say. Like it's not perfect, but I'm satisfying with this one. So we're almost done with this creation or this video. I also have like added a like code check or something. I don't know what it's called, but a code rack. Sorry, a code rack. but it's used for weapons, so people can place their helmets on the racks and or weapons in this case. You can see. So if they don't want to have that the weapons is like getting, I don't know, like damaged, then they can hang it on those things. So that's what I did. Very tiny little detail. There's also another detail is that the board, the signboard, I toned down a little bit of like the text saturation, or like not the text saturation, but like the transparent a little bit. So I toned it a little bit down, so the text is not popping up so hard anymore. So it looks like this is like yeah, a little bit of like very old written on the board. Before it was very bright, full small update, and I did the same with the main menu, like the menu thing on the creation. Also a little bit more toned down, but still a little bit more that you can still read it, so you can still read for yourself what you can order. But I scaled a little bit down the transparency. Sorry, I can't speak right now. The transparency a little bit more down, so it feels like it belongs to this board. That's what I did. And last but not least in this video, I also added a painting. I did not paint this myself. I wish. But this is like a painting that I thought would fit very nicely. And this is why I hit the 99% graphics thermo, because this was also 1%. And the rug was 1%. Does that make 2%? And I already had like a 97. So, well, 97 plus 2 is 99. So yeah, so this is like the last thing that I added, and I thought like it's really nice touch. There is saying something a little bit bored on what it is, even though it's technically not what it is. But in this, I want to make it like an immersive feeling that this is an actual place in this world. For whoever created this, very beautiful painting. If you're watching, you're amazing. I love this painting. It really fits so well in my creation. I changed a little bit of the colors, so it looks a little bit more spooky, right, at nighttime. So that's what I wanted to do. And there's a little board saying where this is placed inside my environment, inside the lore. But I thought like it would really fit well, because we have certain houses like that that looks like this, and yeah, so I thought it would fit really nicely. That's basically what I've done in this creation. I have not much else to show, to share. This is pretty much it. Yeah, so if you want to know how I did those windows, I will do a little bit of like a bonus chapter in the end of the video. And for those who don't want to see that, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. And I really, really hope that you're eventually going to all to play this, and or like to check out yourself if you can find details here and there. And I don't know. I hope you will enjoy this creation so far. That's what I hope. And if not, then yeah, then I'm very sorry for disappointing you. All right. So for you guys that want to leave right now, I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next video. And as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. Bye bye. All right, so for those who really want to know how I did the windows, so a little bit of a bonus chapter here. It's very simple, so I'm going to not talk super long over it. So let's go in the edit mode, and now you can see a little bit like what I done. So I placed the spotlight in this direction, right? But the funny thing is, like, you cannot really see it from this side. So you cannot see it. Like, if you're standing here, you're not really seeing it a little bit, but you're already going down here, so you're not really seeing it. Before, I had the spotlights a little bit more back, and then they were casting the light, but it was weird because, like, the spotlights was casting the shadow of these things, but also the sun gadget was casting these things, and I didn't really want that. So I placed the spotlights a little bit in the front, and then used the sun gadget to cast the shadow only on the front part of the window. So that's what you can see here, because that was still strong enough for me to believe, well, okay, now it's like it's a reflection of the window, but the sunlight was not. So if I remove the light, you can see the difference. This is like without the spotlight. You can see the difference, right? If I do this or this. Now, you're probably going to see, but check though, wait a minute. There is a difference between between like around the window on the the casting of the light. And then you were really paying good attention, because what I did is I have to pull this on, and now you're going to see what I really did. This is the same technique that I also have a tutorial for, although this is a little bit different, because in my tutorial I am only doing fake lighting and fake shadowing, but without the sun gadget. And this is actually with a sun gadget. So the same situation, but then with a sun gadget. So basically, it's the same technique. The only difference is that I don't pull out an extra window in front of the light gadget to cast a shadow, because my sun gadget is already doing that. So I don't need to do that for this in this case. But basically, the whole everything is the same way in that tutorial. The only difference is that I don't do the sun, the window in front of the spotlight. So what I did, I put some placeholders here, and these are basically my walls, my where like this, like I have to fake it because I pull the light a little bit inside the window. So and the spotlight casts, of course, like a square. So if I remove these things, you can see that the light is then like filling up the whole room. Now this looks very beautiful, but it doesn't make any sense because the sun doesn't get there. The sun is in this direction. If you go outside, you can see the sun is over there. The sun can never hit like the lighting over here. Like it's there's no the sun doesn't go there. Also, another thing is that you can see now that the light of the shadow of the window is on the floor, but the wall is not. So that's the second weird part. So that's why I placed a fake wall, so that like only the light source comes from the window, and the wall is basically the breaking the light. So I'm faking, like I said, I'm faking the shadow, faking the lighting, because we have only like a spotlight or a diffuse light, but the spotlight for this case is only in a square form. And no matter what you do with like the width of the big square or smaller square, you always have a square around it, your light source. So it will always go everywhere, no matter what. So that's why I have to place these things. So it looks like the sunlight hits only the window and the wall, and that's only where the light can cast. It's still not super perfect, but I'm happy with it. It's not like technically super perfect, but yeah, I spent so many time on it. Also, I have to be a little bit careful, because I also have like chandeliers here, right? And if I pull this up, oh, not this one. If I pull this up, right, I had to like this. And if I did that, then you can see that the reflection of the chandeliers are suddenly stopping in the shadow, because the wall is there. So that didn't make any sense. So I had to be very carefully with placing these these walls, because like I don't want that people can see like, oh wait a minute, there's like a wall there. So I had to be very, very careful with that one. And I see it's not like super perfect. I could maybe do a little bit like this. I saw a little bit of like an error there. But now you get a little bit more the idea of like how I did this. And the same goes, of course, on this side of the window. So I did the same thing. Also placed two placeholder as a wall. And when the spotlight shines into, and this shines a little bit more further into, not too much, but like a little bit further, because it is a little bit more on the other side of the window. So it has a little like change direction in the sunlight, not too much, but just enough, because I really want to hit the sunlight a little bit over the table. I don't know why I thought it was very cool, but I kind of liked it. So and the same thing I did there, so you can see the reflection on the ground as well with the window. And you can see also something else. You can see there's a little bit of blurry stuff here, right? And it's also on this side as well. Like if I close this way, you can see there's a little bit of blurry things here. And what I did is You probably already know, but what I did is like I pull here a use image. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So what I did was like I used a image to fake a extra casting shadow, and I pulled the image blur 100%. So if I do it like this, and then change it, you can see that it changes the image on the ground, right? So basically what I did, or the reason why I did this is because like I want to fake that the leaves, like the top of this little tree here, where the sun is behind, I kind of want to reflect, let that reflect a little bit in the window. Not too much, but like it's a tiny little detail that I want to do there. The same goes on this side, and here's a little bit more darker because it's also having this big tree in front of it, so that's why it's casting a little bit more extra shadow. So just to make you believe there's like leaves, like shadow dropping on the ground, even though we have faked that. So yeah, a little bit of an insight here. So how I did that. If you really want to like know step by step how I did this, like I said, I've made a tutorial on my YouTube channel, the same channel where you're watching this right now. So search it up. It's under the section of my tutorials. I have a bunch of tutorials, and also first looks and stuff like that. So yeah, so check that one out if you want to know how I exactly step by step did this. I will maybe considering to do more tutorials, but I think that it's at this point maybe unnecessary because yeah, people are leaving dreams altogether right now. But I really want to show like creations like this still because like yeah, I don't know. And if you really want to like ask me stuff when I'm live streaming, you can always ask me when I'm streaming. I will always be there. So yeah, I'm going to say for those who have been there till the end to know a little bit about how I did the sunlight. Again, thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to have this finally finished. I think that this video, part 11, will be not my last video, but the last video of my updates. I don't think I will probably going to do more fine-tuning here and there in this creation, but it's not going to be enough anymore to do an additional video for that, all for that stuff. I really want to show this video still because I did change a lot of stuff in between, a lot of like different updates here and there with the clothing and the environment as well, like updating the environment a little bit. So I thought like, okay, it's still enough to make a video, but after this video I'm mostly going to show you the UI design and also how like that I fixed the door with the popping in and popping out, the gameplay thermo a little bit. So that's all going to be in the next one video or multiple videos. I don't know how much I'm going to show in one video, but so yeah, so this was the last video considering all the updates in the environment. The final version will probably going to look a little bit different than it looks right now, because like of course I'm always going to fine-tune till I'm really happy, then I will release the button to publish it online in the Dreamiverse. But it's not enough for me to do another video, and I think yeah, then it becomes maybe a little bit too boring to watch. So yeah, so the next video is going to be more with logics, like how things are working logic wise with the main menu, and what type of options are you going to expect, stuff like that. So hopefully I will see you in the next video. If you're still curious about how logical wise is going to look, this disclaimer, I am not a logic guru, so I'm more of like connecting everything all together, and if it works, it works, right? So so yeah, don't expect me like having super advanced logic knowledge, but I know enough to make things work here and there. So yeah, that's probably going to be in the next episode of this Project Fantieval. And for now, sorry for the long talk, but for now, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Damn it, I said it, but please, it helps me. So I'm saying it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. Bye bye.